When John Nathan Turner was tasked with celebrating 20 years of Doctor Who, I'm sure he had plenty of ideas. The Doctor could have visited Hawaii in a story inspired by said producer's loud shirts. How amazing would that have been? Instead though, what we got was a retread of the 10th anniversary story. Another multi-Doctor story. This is the Five Doctors. Except it isn't really, it's more like five-ish Doctors. William Hartnell was sadly no longer with us at this point, so the first Doctor was recast and now played by Richard Hurndall, who I find so-so in this. Tom Baker just did not want to come back as the fourth Doctor for varying reasons, so his role was reduced to footage from the then unreleased Sharda. Little did people know back in 1983 that Sharda would then go on to be released on many different formats, 17 million times no less. Thankfully, Peter Davison decided to come along. After all, he was the incumbent Doctor at the time. If he did not take part, then this story just would have been a train wreck. Patrick Troughton came back to criticise Unit's decorating and leaving more fans questioning the whole seasons it could be theory. John Pertwee also made a guest turn as Wurzel Gummidge. In this he befriends Sarah Jane Smith, star of the long-running spin-off K9. Such a great show! The Five Doctors features a vast array of companions from the first 20 years. You have people like Susan twisting her ankle. Again. You have Zoe wearing a weird outfit. Again. You have the Brigadier fighting a Yeti. Again. You even have Sarah Jane falling down in places which aren't that steep. Again. These are prime examples of how to celebrate a sci-fi juggernaut turning 20. The biggest crime of this though is where the fuck is my boy Chameleon? He got introduced in the previous story, therefore he should be here. The metal twat was as much use as that K9, but hey ho, best spin-off ever and all that bollocks. Unlike the last anniversary story, where we had the original villain in Omega. What? This time, everyone played the safe card and brought back villains from the past. You have a Dalek, Cybermen, Yeti, and back once again, it's the Renegade Master. General Zod, eat your heart out. The main setting is Gallifrey's Death Zone, and come on, let's say it all together, people. Oh look, another fucking quarry. The premise of this is that someone has turned all of the Doctor Who characters in this into Eagle Moss figures, and somehow they are transported to Gallifrey. They have to play this game of Rassilon, as well as make as many references to the past as possible. That someone is none other than Barusa.
You?
Oh. Is that it then? Talk about surprise twists. The cast look like they're all enjoying themselves though. It's great to see Troughton and Pertwee involved once again, bickering alongside Peter Davison, who gets some memorable moments as the Fifth Doctor. But this is by no means a defining story for this incarnation. What the Five Doctors has going for it is it's a very accessible piece of Doctor Who media for newcomers to the classic series. This special was filled to the brim with familiar staples of the show, such as your corny lines.
You are authorized to use the mind probe.
What? No, not the mind probe.
As well as iconic ones.
Sorry, mustache.
Why not? After all, that's how it all started.
Like the Three Doctors, this is also fun. Maybe a bit too fun at times. This is comfort Doctor Who, as it is a celebration. Some may argue that it veers towards fan wank territory. Some will regard this as their all-time favourite. No matter what though, this 20th anniversary is a love letter to all the fans who stuck around from the very beginning up to the adventures of the Fifth Doctor. It's easy to see why some may call this the best multi-Doctor story. While I personally prefer others to this, just down to personal taste, this is definitely a good story. This story never fails to put a smile on my face. even if some bits of it are admittedly silly. At the end of the day, though, we can all agree that the Five Doctors was responsible for introducing Doctor Who's deadliest villain. A ballet dancer dressed as a robot. I fucking love this show.